says crafting is a dying art? I'm finding crafters all over the Middle Tennessee area who make unique items that'll be passed down for generations to come. Welcome to HandMade Tennessee. I'm Kimberly Vance, along with my very special guest today, Dennis Burgess. Hi, Dennis.
Hello, Kimberly.
Thank you very much for coming down today. We sure do appreciate it.
Thanks for the invitation.
Well, the thing is that you are a flint knapper.
Right.
That is so cool. I just always thought they were called arrowhead makers.
Well, that's some people still call them that, but this tradition is just flint napper.
Flint napper.
Breaking flint.
Oh, that's neat. That is so incredible. How long have you actually been doing this type of thing?
About 17 years.
Really? So this is not your first situation with flint napping?
No. I enjoy it. I got into it several years ago. I'd always, ever since I was a small child, I'd found points when I was 4 or 5 years old and collected, and for several years I'd wondered about how they were made. And so I heard about a demonstration going on over at the old stone fort at Manchester, and I went over, and it so happened there was a friend of mine sitting there, and he had been chipping for a while. And so I sat down and watched him for a few minutes, and then acquired what tools I needed, and I went home, and I've been breaking rock ever since.
Wow, breaking rock. That is just so cool. And the thing is that when you find something, not all arrowheads that you find are authentic.
No, because people salt the fields. They make them and put them in fields to play jokes on people.
Oh, that's awful.
It's a dirty joke, but people do it.
And so you authenticate.
Yes.
Now, how do you know just by looking at them?
There is a patination that gets on the rock, a patina that gets on certain rocks, and like some of these, this material here, this is called a Tyrone material, and it's from down in Smith County, Tennessee. It doesn't really age. When it's 10,000 years old to now, it has basically got the same color on the outside as it, all the way through. Some materials, such as this black piece, all right? This is from DeKalb County, Tennessee, and this is just a piece of fort paint. If this piece was as old as it should be, which would be about 2,500 to 4,000 years old, this would be almost white.
Oh.
That's patina that gets on the rock, and it just changes the total color of it.
Wow. So is that how you determine a piece is?
You know what the material is that you're looking at, and then you can tell if it's old, if it's ancient or not.
Now, how about the one that you just showed us before this one that you said, 10,000 years or whatever, it's still the same? How in the world would you authenticate something like that?
By workmanship.
Okay.
When prehistoric man made pieces, well, most of your flint nappers nowadays, they look at a book. And they will replicate something by what it looks in a book. They don't have an original piece to look at to see how the flaking pattern. There's certain flaking patterns on prehistoric rocks, and so you go by that.
That seems like that'd be a tough gig right there.
It is.
Wow. Have you ever been mistaken?
Well, of course, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, but yeah.
That's still incredible, though, that you could even get that close. It's pretty neat. You've got such a variety of items in here. What are the ones that are this reddish color?
That's called Horse Creek material. That's from down in around Hardin County, Tennessee, that area there. This has been heated. It changes the color a little bit, but it makes it where it's workable. It's real hard to work when it's raw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can heat this up about 500 degrees, and it makes it a whole lot better. It makes life easier.
Does it really? Now, how did they do it, do you think, the old-time ways? How do you think that they did that? Well, put it in a fire or something?
What they do, they build a fire in a pit in the ground, and they put sand over the bed of coals. And then they'd put blanks down, and they put more sand on top of that, build another fire, and let the heat drive up and down.
Wow.
And
so it baked it.
It baked it, right?
Wow.
And then when they let it cool off, then it was heat treated.
Now, what is this particular piece right here? This obviously is a much different size as well.
That's a piece of Buffalo River from down in the same area as the Horse Creek came from, but that's not been cooked.
Oh.
That's a piece that's raw, and it comes in different colors, just like this piece here is a piece of Buffalo River, and this is the piece that came out from this piece, and it's just different.
Been fired. So there are all kinds of artistic ways to make your arrowheads look different, and
a lot of the people that make them reproduce them when they want to sell them to people as ancient pieces. Yeah, they doctor them up with all kind of aging stuff. They make them, try to make them patinated. They want to where they can get money out of it. That's the thing. But see, just like this piece here, I was talking about the heat treating. This is another piece of the Buffalo River. And for example, these two pieces, the difference in the gray and how this piece is light and the bullseye, same material, but this piece was heated to 600 degrees. And this piece has not been heated.
So you're saying this this arrowhead here is this rock here?
Same material.
Wow, that's something else.
Same material.
So you heat it to get your different colors. Now, in nature, would this have occurred?
A little,
but nothing to this degree.
No. No. See, naturally you had some forest fires, and so it would pass over and it will heat it up. But nothing to what
to that degree.
Not to continued controlled deal like I do when my oven. I've got a kiln that I can control it.
Now, do you find that when folks buy them, do they want them different colors a lot of times?
Women.
Yes.
Want colors.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Men, the color doesn't really matter.
They just want an airhead.
They want an airhead, and they want a style, a form, something that's real pretty in form, the workmanship and whatever, like the piece you had me in gold with the serrations on it.
That's a beautiful pattern.
The kirk, that's called a bifurcated kirk. In ancient style, it's a bifurcated kirk.
And so you actually knap that, and how in the world do you come out with those little pieces?
Little pressure flaker.
Goodness gracious, I can't imagine all the work that goes into that.
It's quite a bit. It's a challenge, but it's fun at the same time. It's fun.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
And just like these two are your oldest time period rocks. Your Cumberlands, they have a flute. Goes down. That was just, these points are 10,000 and above.
Really? So what would be the purpose in ancient times of having the flute?
When the shaft was hafted to it, it was tighter.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. The groove there, so it could stick on to whatever.
When they worked them down to use them as spears for the, your prehistoric animals, they wanted it hafted as close as they could.
That makes sense. This was a matter of life and death.
That was exactly right. That was their living tools. Like we have a pocket knife and whatever, or we have a .22 rifle. They had that.
Amazing. That's amazing to even think about, because we're so lazy nowadays. We just pull something out. You're not.
We try to make it as easy as we can. So
I'm all for comfort.
Like these materials here. This is from here. This is from Warren County.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
These are beautiful.
Yeah, I picked these balls of material up over in Northcutt's Cove.
Wow. Oh, these are gorgeous. I love it. Now these are ladies' arrowheads, aren't they? They're so pretty.
That's what they go to. That's exactly right.
Oh, that's neat.
Or some people work this fiber optics material, and it's all colors.
Oh,
yeah.
I bet that's nice.
It is.
Oh,
it
these
is.
are
And
gorgeous. Just beautiful.
That's what the women really go for.
All right. I'm going to pick out one, say, and I want something really, really, really pretty and fancy. How do I know what rock to find?
You don't. That's the thing. You go to the creeks.
Okay.
And you take a hammerstone.
Is that a hammerstone?
That's a hammerstone.
Okay.
And that's an original. That's an original hammerstone. That's a prehistoric person left. And I picked it up and I've been utilizing his too. All right. What you do, you just go to the creek bank. All right. Find your piece. Hit it. Knock off what's called the rind and see if there's good material in it. And if it is, then
And you can tell by the flakiness if it's going to be good
if it's going to be
material or
good, yeah, when you knock it off, you can tell. And a lot of times, you don't have to when you pick it up. It's got a ring to it, and then you can tell
if
it's going to be any good. Yeah, most of the time you can tell.
So is that what you use? Is you use your hammerstone? That's initially what you use to start chipping?
Especially to test.
Okay.
To test.
Okay.
Because when you get a rough rock that you think might be flint, and you take your billet and you start beating on it, well, you're wearing this out, and these are about $75.
Wow.
So you don't want to wear this out. So you
want to use your stone, something you can pick up in the creek for free.
Something you can pick up that they left. Say your moose horn, it's expensive, but that's most people use the moose horn billets.
And is that more like to shape it?
Yeah, well, you hit the same thing. This is the same thing for hitting. This is your striking. That's a billet for striking, and you just use different sizes, taking off different size flakes. You do your small flake, and you use smaller billet.
Okay, so the size of the tool has a lot to do with what
with the size, lot to the size of the flake that you're taking off. It sure does. It has a lot.
Isn't that
flake,
something?
yeah.
And we were talking earlier, all these rocks are not necessarily flint.
Oh, no. Most rocks are not flint. Most rocks are chert. Chert. If you can hold it up to the light and it's transparent, it's considered as a flint. Most of your true flints is like obsidian from Oregon, from Washington State.
Was that the black?
That's it. That's something that you can hold up and see through. That's considered as a flint.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so what is this right here?
This is a chert.
A chert.
This is a Fort Payne chert. It's Buffalo River.
Wow. Isn't that something?
Now that
again, chert?
That's chert,
okay.
and that's a real rare material right there, and that's from Putnam County. That's a Del Rio material.
Del Rio.
Del Rio. That's just how it's got its name. It's
do you
Del
think
Rio.
that has to do with the area that it came from?
Well, I think it does, because up around Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, that area there was a site that the natives lived on, and it's called the Del Rio site. Well, they found a lot of this material there in small point styles made, but they've not found the source. But they called it the Del Rio site, so it got its name, Del Rio material.
So did you actually find this yourself?
No. A friend of mine brought that and gave it to me.
Wow.
He worked at a factory, and his friend that worked there was turkey hunting and found that and brought it in and gave it to him, and he brought it. And I told him, I said, that's a real nice rock. So I hit, and there's a little, I don't know if you can see the little blue speckle right there. All right, it lays on that little blue speckle right there. That's where that.
So this arrowhead actually came from right there.
That was reduced from right there.
Oh, that's amazing! And this has a pretty good sized rind on it.
It does. It's got the rind.
You know what? I just go and I see rocks, and they're just rocks. Who knew that they could have these beautiful materials in them?
Well, if this hadn't have been struck by a prehistoric man, it would have known, because with this rind, it just looked like a red dirt rock.
Wow, that's something else.
Like a piece of crag rock.
Now, what all types of tools do you find that you need? We know that you've got the billets, the different size of billets.
Your pressure flaker.
And that's where you came up with the little points and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, it's your pressure flaker. Your billets, and you can use the neoprene with the copper, the pressure flake, and the copper as a billet. And some materials, the copper works better because the grainy material, it will eat a horn up.
Oh.
But when I put on demonstrations and stuff, go to school and stuff, I try to do it the way the prehistoric people did. I use antler and an antler to pressure flake with, and when this is just a little grindstone. All right, when you billet or when you're pressure flaking, either one, you rub the rock in this, and it reduces the side. It takes the slickness, the sharp. When you flake it, it's real sharp. All right, that polishes it to where that your pressure flaker or the billet, either one, will stick to it when it hits it. If it don't, it'll just crumble.
Wow. Oh, I never thought about that. You would need to fortify the sides there, wouldn't you?
Yeah. When you, if you don't, when you strike it, it crumbles.
Can you give us a demonstration?
I sure can.
Wonderful. Boy, I tell you what, I had no idea that was involved in. You know, and originally, a few years back, I didn't even know that anybody did flint knap. I thought that the only arrowheads you found were actually prehistoric, ancient.
I would say that most of them, when you find them out in the field, you know, it's ancient, but it don't have to be. It don't have to be. It can be set up.
That's a shame. That would be so disappointing to think that you'd actually found something and then it'd be made last week.
Yeah, it's not very often, but it happens. I've had 2 or 3 cases that I know that it's happened.
That's a shame.
But that's me, and so there's other people, there's other authenticators out there too. So they've ran into the same thing where people have said, yeah, I found it and everything, and they were probably telling the truth. They did find it, but it wasn't ancient.
Oh, that would be horribly disappointing. All right, so what kind of rock are you using? Chert? What I've got is chert. I was trying to find a piece, just a decent small piece. You know, this little piece is from DeKalb County, and he's told me to go with about a piece of black rock with a white dot in it. Well, that's what that's got. It's as a white dot.
And it's a piece of quartz inclusion.
Wow, quartz. Ooh, that'd be pretty.
Yeah, but it's
again the
hard.
girl rock.
but it's hard.
It's hard to do.
It's hard.
Can't. So it would be like a knot in the rock, so to speak.
That's exactly right. That's what you do. You get this, and I'll have me a little spot.
So what you're doing now is you're fortifying still so the rock doesn't chip.
Just I'm abrading the edge where it doesn't crush when I strike it. Yeah, it makes the flake carry further. And what I'm doing, these little step down places, that's called a platform. When you strike on a platform. That's a little ridge. You can't hit it in a low spot because it just dives in and the flake won't carry. So you have a ridge to strike from.
Are there certain rocks that you prefer working with over others?
Yeah, our material, the Fort Paynes, it's harder than other stuff, but it's gratifying when you get a nice piece made out of it. You know, it's local, that you picked it up.
And you've worked it.
And you've worked
earned it.
A lot of flint knappers from up in Kentucky and other places, they won't work our material. It's too challenging.
Well, that just don't even sound right, does it?
No, they won't work it. People from here, we do. Just as I said, it's gratifying when you get.
Oh, I'd say it is, especially when you end up with such a beautiful piece. Now, why do you have the piece of leather laying on your lap?
Well, sometimes you got a larger piece and you lay it down and you strike, and then it's a shock, just a cushion.
And keeps you from tearing your pants.
Yeah, but your pants.
It don't matter if you've got to be.
No, it's your leg. It's all about the leg. yeah.
Pants you can replace, right?
Pants you can replace, but that big spot on your leg, you just stand up and try to walk. No.
Have you ended up with a lot of bruises before?
No, because I keep a pad.
You've always done it.
I used to have a real thick one. It was a sheepskin.
Oh.
And it really shocks. It takes it all off. You don't know you've done anything, but this is easier to carry, and it works good. So.
Now, you do a lot of demonstrations and stuff for the school kids all around the area.
Yeah, I sure do.
That's neat. Do you love to just see the little sparkle in their eyes when they watch what you're doing?
Yeah, and what I usually do, I'll make one, and I'll have them all to put their names on a piece of paper, and they put their names in a hat, and I'll let them somebody draw out, and they'll win one, and that's really what makes it.
Yeah.
That does them good. But now, Oneida, Tennessee, Scott County. They are, my wife was an educator for 33 years. Scott County's got the best education program of all. They put on a flint knapping demonstration, gun making demonstration,
wow.
hewing logs, making sorghum, making apple butter, anything to do with past history. They put on the last weekend in September. They put on a big demonstration for everybody, and it's open to the public. And other schools can take their groups up there. All you got to do is call up and schedule, and you can they can take other young school kids up there, and they put on the same deal for these.
Oh, that's
they got
nice.
it's a history museum on school grounds.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's unreal what all they've got.
Oneida too has a lot of good resources like that too because of their location.
Well, they had Howard
nice.
Baker.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Now, where were we?
But the schools, I've been to several schools in Cookeville and been to schools in DeKalb County, but up there they really do real good. Yeah.
I noticed that you have hit another. You've got another
stack.
Yeah.
That's a stack. That's a platform right there, but it's got a stack, and it's not wanting to come off. But like we were talking about, the Manchester, the old stone forts, in Boonesboro National Forest at Red River Gorge, the federal government puts on a what's called a living archaeology weekend up there, and I've put several demonstrations on up there for them too.
That's neat. Now I noticed the precision. You always lay it right up there, just so you can strike it just right.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Boy, that is a tough piece.
Oh, it's tough. It's not wanting to come off.
So now do you change tools?
Yes, I'm going to do a little pressure flaking, see if I can release it a little bit. Take some of that off of there, because it's not wanting to flake from the pressure. I mean, from the billet. And maybe I could relieve some of it.
Oh, I can see how that's making the shape now.
Yeah, that throws the pressure flakes. It just puts a little fine pressure flakes.
Beautiful.
And it releases. That's why I'm gonna try to release that platform down. I didn't think it was that stout. But I've got a large hump that I'm trying to get off. Still didn't think it was going to be that tough.
And you couldn't file that down because obviously that wouldn't.
No, that'd be cheating.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cheating to
file it down. That makes sense. That's not napping at all, is it? That's filing.
That's grinding. Now there is a it's called flake over grinding. They're flint knappers. They're not really flint knappers because they don't do any striking with a billet. They use diamond tools, and they will polish a preform with that, and they set it up with a ridge, like I was telling you a minute ago, and they pressure up to a ridge, and it's an artwork. It's not really flint knapping. It's an artwork. But you got the ones that does that, and it's just a different. You come up with the same point, but
the technique's
totally different. Yeah, it's more machine than it is.
Now, do you find that there are still a lot of nappers around, or do you think it's kind of?
It's growing.
Oh, good.
Oh, it's growing. There's a website that you can buy pieces from, like the kits. And a friend of mine makes the kits, the pads and stuff, and sells them. And they're selling several, so it's growing.
Oh, that's fantastic. Good. That's what we're trying to do with this show too, is to just preserve the old ways.
Yeah, it's growing. Yeah, like we've had a get together for 7 years, and it started out with just 2 of us, and it stepped up, stepped up, stepped up, and like I said, there's anywhere from 2 to 15 shows up, and it's a wide variety. My wife says it's a motley crew, colorful crew.
I'd say that's the truth right there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now speaking of organizations, you said that this is an organization.
Central States.
Uh-huh.
Central States Archaeological Society. Tennessee became part of that in 1968.
Mm-hmm.
And
now, is this for knappers? Or?
No. That is for collectors. That's for genuine artifacts.
Uh-huh.
That's for the collectors of real ancient artifacts.
Mm-hmm. And so, if we wanted to join this society,
website, you can pull up Central States, and the information is on the computer.
Central States Archaeological Society.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fantastic.
So, and each state has their own deal. Like Alabama has got it, and Florida's got it, and Florida's not been in but about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Georgia, it's not been too many years they've been in, but it's.
I would imagine those would be rich areas for artifacts.
Oh, they are.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
That's
wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
let's see how far you've gotten. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is really coming together. Oh, I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, me either.
This is going to be really fun. I'd like to thank you very much for coming. This has been very enlightening and very fun. That's going to be neat to see it. Well, that's our show for today. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can email us at handmadetn@bltv.net or like us on Facebook at HandMade Tennessee. Thank you very, very much to our special guest today, Dennis Burgess. Thank you so very much for coming.
Thank you.
I'm Kimberly Vance, and I hope that you've been inspired to create your own Handmade Tennessee. If you enjoyed today's show, check us out on Facebook for other shows and information at www.facebook.com/HandmadeTennessee. You can also email us your comments or suggestions to handmadetn@bltv.net.